Hello everyone and welcome back to the cavern. This is Boondoke here. Today we're going to be painting up a frost salamander. Now, our local gaming store may or may not have had a massive sale on miniatures, so I bought ones I'm never going to play with, and you know what? That's just fine. So this guy's a bigger figure. I got him just kind of for funsies. I'm not really happy sometimes with the photos on the back because you can see they did a lot of added glare on him to kind of give him his effect. We're still going to go with the blues and purples they have, and then maybe try and add a little bit of extra detailing for us, because when I think about salamanders or sallies up here in Appalachia, you got all the patterns on the back. They're not just a strict like two-tone kind of little guy. So what I think we're going to do, since we're still not in possession of an airbrush, is use a lot of wet on wet for his base coating. So you're going to see I'm going to go in here in the lower spots and go with it with a lighter blue, and then add probably a mid-tone blue and then purpling on the back. What have you guys been working on lately? I know Frost Salamander's a little out there. Like I said, we're probably never going to use him on our table, but he's just a fun paint just to do, on his own. I've been doing a lot of PCs lately and a couple of enemies that we are going to be running into on the board. So, you just go in, kind of get that slapdash, get that coat all the way on the bottom of this piece. This is another one where he's a heavy figure. I kind of wish they would have just pegged his feet so you could slot him into the base afterwards and fix him. The fact that a lot of these are already prefixed gives you a lot of cracks and crevices that are rather hard to reach, unless I get a really long bristle brush, but then I really don't like the lack of control with that. And, maybe that's just me because I'm still starting out, but you can use, obviously, whatever method you feel comfortable with and whatever you want to do to paint your little frost salamander. Maybe you don't even want to make them blue. Maybe you want to make them, I don't know, like a deep permafrost, like deep purple and black. That'd be kind of cool. And the other thing I want to tell people and remind people of is, just because it says it's something on the box doesn't mean it has to be that. You don't have to have this notion that everything is absolutely predefined. Like, yeah, maybe some of the traits aren't going to match between one creature or beast or another, but just do you. Have a fun time. If you want to go and get, a froghemoth and paint him like the Hypnotoad from Futurama, then do it. Like, whatever makes you happy. Just do that painting. You don't have to be a purist. And if there's somebody at your table that comments and says, oh, well, this differs from the way it is in the book, or well, on page 347, it says it, just kick them out. Honestly, you don't need that energy at your table. It's a game, folks, and I understand there's some rigidity that needs to be followed to give authenticity, but come on, let somebody paint. Let them have a good time. Anyway, again, this is a big boy figure, so he's taking a hot minute. I sped this up to 1.5 speed. Maybe I should have done it up for 2 to you guys, just because it's a lot of area to cover. These base coats I'm using my Citadel paints for. You can see some of the other blues and purples I have lined up in the back there. I'm going to be using those for detailing later on, like some blotches and stripes and things like that. But I got one of the layer boxes from Citadel, and they had a lot of greens and a lot of blues and a lot of browns. So I'm like, well, we'll pick up this salamander off the shelf today so we can get some blue on the shelf, because right now it's looking very, well, red and brown really when I think about it. One thing I did like about him was his rippling. He looks like just a chonky salamander that you pull up from under a rock. He looks real, just fleshy, and I don't think that's really a descriptor that people are looking for all the time. But he looking at him was a fun figure, and I'm like, you know what? I just want to sit down and paint him. So we're gonna do that. If anybody watching also films some of their painting or watches other people that films their painting, which I should probably start doing just to get some ideas. If you have any recommendations for a camera setup, because right now I am just filming on my phone because that's the money I had to start. It makes it very difficult because obviously when we're painting these miniatures, we like to hold them close to our face, and having a chonkin phone in the way really isn't super helpful. Let me know if you guys have any suggestions on setups if I am using a phone, or camera recommendations that aren't, gonna break the bank. All right, now you see we got these base layers on here. They're not as blended as I'd like, but it is what it is. So we're gonna go and grab those detailing colors like I said before and add some striping and splotching down his back. And then we're also going to do a shading layer, and I'll show you guys the final product, because doing detailing when a camera's set up is a little bit of a pain. So these two I want to use for the highlight. Those are my old MSP paints that I can't find anywhere anymore. As always, werewolf for scale on this finalized guy. And I'm kind of happy with them, and I'm also not happy with them. I know that's kind of useless in a comment. But for my final wash on him, instead of mixing a wash like I usually do for colored washes, I picked up one of the Citadel washes. It's purple tinted, and I think I went just a bit too heavy with it. One of the reasons why I do like the army painter ones is they're very thin. Citadel, there you go, it's the Trogor or Trargor Rage Shade. Sorry, I can't read while I'm also holding it up and trying to narrate. I like Citadel layer paints because they go on heavy, but I had to remember that heaviness carries over to their washes. Well, anyway, that's our little frost salamander terrorizing our table. And if you guys have any paints of them, show them in the comments down below. Take care. Have a good one, guys.